Cowboys star CeeDee Lamb puts NFL on notice with George Pickens' statement. Dallas Cowboys star CeeDee Lamb is thrilled to have George Pickens as his new running mate and believes their duo will be a serious problem for defenses across the league. Pickens arrived in Dallas via trade earlier in May. The Cowboys sent a 2026 third-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Pickens and a 2027 sixth-round pick. Pickens, a second-round pick in 2022, comes with some big upside. He amassed 174 receptions for 2,841 yards and 12 touchdowns across 48 games with the Steelers. Pickens' standout season came in 2023, recording 63 catches for 1,140 yards and 5 touchdowns. Pickens gives the Cowboys an outstanding number 2 option. But Lamb doesn't feel like he's a second choice. He views them as equals. "We both ones," Lamb said at Kyler Murray's celebrity softball game. "There ain't no A or B. None of that. You look over there, you see one. You look over there, you see another one. Do what you got to do with that." Pickens expressed a similar sentiment in his first interview following the trade with the Cowboys' official site. "It excites me a lot," Pickens said. "In the game of football, we can work off of each other, and that's why it comes back to building a winning culture." Lamb signed a 4-year, $136 million contract extension ahead of last season. He battled injuries and also played without Prescott for a chunk of the year, but still managed 1,194 yards and 6 touchdowns. Lamb posted a massive campaign in 2023, notching 1,749 yards on 135 receptions with 12 touchdowns over 15 games. Now, with Pickens in the fold, Lamb should have even more open space to work with. Jalen Tolbert, Cavani Turpin, Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Brooks, and Paris Campbell will also be in the mix for the Cowboys as they look to turn things around after a 7-10 campaign. The other beneficiary of Pickens' arrival is quarterback Dak Prescott. The Cowboys quarterback has connected with Pickens and is ready to add him to the mix. "We've connected," Prescott said on 1310 The Ticket in Dallas. "I'm excited. You turn on the tape, you see a guy that can catch the football. You put the football anywhere in his vicinity, very strong hands, more than a 50-50 catcher. He thinks it's his ball when it's in the air. I'm excited for him. I know we needed some help at that position. I know that CeeDee Lamb needed some help. I think when you have a guy like that, it's hard to double-team 2 guys. And then when you have other guys, whether it be Jake Ferguson, Jalen Tolbert, Jonathan Mingo, guys who have had reps and know how to get open in the league, I think we're putting together a nice group of weapons." Pickens is entering the final year of his rookie deal, making this a contract year for the occasionally polarizing pass catcher. But he's only concerned right now about his role in making the Cowboys a winning organization. "I'm worried about coming here and trying to help build a winning culture," Pickens said. Cowboys predicted to cut ties with $3 million second-round pick signed in March. On their way to a mediocre 7-10 season in which they missed the playoffs for the first time in 4 years, the Dallas Cowboys had plenty of blame to go around. Much of it could be directed at the running game. With just 1,705 yards on the ground, the Cowboys placed a sorry 27th of the NFL's 32 teams in rushing yardage. Dallas ball carriers were almost totally ineffective when it came to putting points on the board, scoring a mere 6 touchdowns, dead last in the league. One of those touchdowns came from quarterback Dak Prescott. 3 more of the 6 were scored by veteran Ezekiel Elliott, who is no longer with the team. Elliott joined the Los Angeles Chargers practice squad in January. Rico Dowdle scored the other 2, and Dowdle is gone, too. He signed as a free agent with the Carolina Panthers in March. As one of their acquisitions to make up for the fact that not one member of the Dallas running back group scored a rushing touchdown for the Cowboys last year, the team signed the Denver Broncos' leading rusher from 2024 to a $3 million free agent contract in March. Now, just 2 months later, 25-year-old Javonte Williams, Denver's second-round draft pick, 35th overall out of North Carolina in 2021, may find his roster spot in danger. While Williams led Denver in rushing yards last year, it took only 513 yards to do so, a career low for any season in which Williams played more than 4 games. Perhaps as a result, Williams' $3 million deal with the Cowboys represented a $5.9 million pay cut from his last paycheck in Denver. In a roundup of the best and worst free agent signings in March, NFL analyst Alex Kay of Bleacher Report named the Cowboys' signing of Williams as one of the worst. As if losing Rico Dowdle wasn't a big enough blow to the Dallas Cowboys' backfield, their decision to sign Javonte Williams as a replacement only salts the wound, Kay wrote. Considering Williams has nearly double the career touches of Dowdle, 764 versus 387, and a concerning injury history, a Year 2 ACL tear derailed what had been a promising start to his career, this signing simply doesn't make sense. Although the financial commitment isn't much, Williams isn't the answer to Dallas' backfield woes. Then, on Sunday, another Bleacher Report scribe, Christopher Knox, predicted that Williams will ultimately lose his job in Dallas after losing the training camp competition with the other 4 running backs now on the Dallas roster. Cowboys signed running back Javonte Williams to a 1-year, $3 million deal this offseason, but could easily move on if he doesn't outperform Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn, and/or rookies Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa in training camp, Nose wrote. Cutting Williams, who averaged just 3.7 yards per carry with the Broncos last season, would save Dallas $2 million in cap space. Not every NFL expert, however, sees Williams as the most likely cut candidate in the Dallas running back room. According to Mark Heaney of the Cowboys blog Inside the Star, the 28-year-old Sanders, a Philadelphia Eagles second-round pick in 2019, is the ball carrier most likely to say an early goodbye to the Cowboys. Sanders is on the other side of his 20s, and he just doesn't have the juice he once did. He tallied 220 rushes in his final season at Penn State, and he is nearly at the 1,000 mark for his career in the NFL. That is a ton of tread on his tires, Heaney wrote. When you combine that with a pair of hamstring and knee sprains over the last 5 years, you have a running back who, for all his experience and leadership, cannot produce on the field like you need him to. Michael Irvin, bullish on Cowboys as legend, predicts game by game. The Dallas Cowboys have their fair share of detractors entering the 2025 season, but Michael Irvin isn't one of them. With the Cowboys' schedule now out, everyone is making their predictions. Some have Dallas playoff bound under Brian Schottenheimer in year 1, while others think missing the postseason is a formality. But for Irvin, whether he was being confident or a Cowboys homer, on The Rich Eisen Show, the playmaker gave his prediction for Dallas in 2025, and he had them 9-1 after Week 11, before ending the year with a 3-4 record to finish 12-5. Irvin had Dallas losses as follows: the Green Bay Packers, Week 4, Philadelphia Eagles, Week 12, Kansas City Chiefs, Week 13, Detroit Lions, Week 14, and the Washington Commanders, Week 17. So, the toughest part of the schedule, Irvin has the Cowboys coming undone somewhat regularly with 3 straight losses, and right now, that is a fair prediction. Because after the 2024 season, the Cowboys have to earn back the credits they threw away after a horror year, and that doesn't happen after a good offseason with a snap being played. We will get a good test of what Schottenheimer's Cowboys are all about against the Eagles in Week 1, with an element of surprise coming from America's team. A 12-5 record is quite the prediction, and if that were to happen, the Cowboys would be back in the playoffs and possibly as the division winner. Yes, it is a prediction, and we are in May, but if we know anything about the playmaker, he is the ultimate hype man regarding his Cowboys. But as for a 12-5 record, we'll let the cake bake on that.